Today, I have an incredible research strategy that you can follow right now to find more opportunities for your Amazon wholesale business or pretty much any other Amazon business that you're following. I'm going to break it down right now and go into detail. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start my research process over here on Amazon.com because this is where we intend to sell. Obviously, we sell in other marketplaces as well. But for the purpose of this example and this strategy, I'm going to break down an Amazon.com example. And all I'm going to do is go to the best sellers. Why am I going to the best sellers? Because obviously these are the things that are making the most money on Amazon right now. And typically I'm not going to find opportunities in the first couple of seconds whenever I go into a bestsellers area, but I'm going to show you a way where we can learn from Amazon what's working and we can go deeper to find opportunities. So if we look to the left-hand side, we can see all the various different categories here. These are more like top level categories and there's subcategories that are within those as well. All I'm going to do for this example is go to sports and outdoors because it's the time of year where it's getting warmer in most countries. A lot of people are outside now. And so there's pretty good demand in this area. So we can see here like different types of products, golf balls and tops and Stanley cups, which we're not going to sell, goggles and all kinds of different stuff. Now, I just want to point out something before we get into it. Like these are obviously the top sellers. So if you look at these golf balls, for example, they're Callaway, a very well-known brand in the golf space. If we use Hero Launchpad, this is a tool that we run here at Marketplace Superheroes. We use the scanner function and tell us what kind of revenue this product is producing. So you can see this is doing $290,000 in top line revenue. Just this one listing on Amazon for these Callaway golf balls. So when you start to think about that, you start to realize like the size of the golf market on Amazon is pretty huge. Like if we even just go to Amazon.com here, for instance, and we just type in golf balls, obviously there's all different kinds of golf balls and whatever, but it's just to say like there's 7,000 different listings that include the words golf balls on Amazon. And if we look at some of them, like we already looked at these ones, these are the ones we looked at just a second ago. But if we just come down here for a sec, we look at the organic results because these are all sponsored results. So we look at some of the organic results. These are organically ranking inside Amazon. And let's say we look at a different brand. So we look at these tailor-made ones, for example. You can click into this. We can see the kind of revenue that this item is producing on a monthly basis. So again, we can use the scanner function or we can use the wholesale tools function, the wholesale research function, $235,000. So right there, when you connect two of those together, you can see we have $500,000 of revenue with just two listings on Amazon in that one little space. But as we come down, we just start to look and see like, what are these items? These are resistance loop bands, right? We've got ice packs here, foam rollers, we've got yoga mats, we've got pickleball balls, we've got microfiber towels, we've got self-sealing bike tubes. Again, I don't know much about that market. I know somebody who has a very successful bike selling business. They do accessories as well, but like that's interesting, right? So how can we use this now to find opportunities? Well, we just want to look and see what are these items. So this is a foam roller. I'm just going to take that as an example. Right? We're going to go back to Amazon. We started to learn about these different types of products on Amazon. We started to learn about the market, like what kind of brands are in here. We can even learn how much revenue some of these items are producing. But the big thing that we want to do, if we're looking at this from an Amazon wholesale perspective, we want to look at listings that have more than one seller and try to identify whether or not that this brand could be a potential brand that we could go ahead and reach out to. Now, we use two different tools to do that. You can use Hero Launchpad and it'll load this little thing up right here whenever we look at something. Obviously in Amazon Basics, we'll just avoid that because it's an Amazon brand. So I just want to basically command click that on the Mac. On a PC, I guess it's a right click or whatever. It's been a while since I've used it because it's saying there's 6 different sellers. Now, if you want a free option, by the way, you can get a free trial to Hero Launchpad. But if you want a free option, Chrome extension called DS Amazon Quick View, and you can just very quickly see, so you can like start to right click and you can do that for free, right? Hero Launchpad is really useful because basically in this area right here on the right-hand side, it's our wholesale research tool. We can start to see who are the other different sellers that are trying to sell this exact item. So there's a company here called 2C Flipper. FBM, it means it's merchant fulfilled. So the merchant themselves are actually shipping it out. And as you can see, whenever you see Amazon here, they're marked down as FBM. They're not marked down as FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon. That's what we will be marked down as whenever we're going to sell these items. You've got these companies like San George USA. You got 2C Flipper. They've only got one item in stock. They've got 30. So whenever I see someone with one item in stock, did they maybe buy this from a retailer at a cheap discount or something and they're just flipping on Amazon? If I see someone that has 30 different units, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, maybe this is a brand we can go and get a deal with. So Trigger Point Performance is the brand. We can just open that in another tab again because we want to just do a bit of research. And we can see that this brand, one of the things that I'm looking out for whenever I'm researching on Amazon is like, are these basically a private label seller? In other words, is this somebody who's just importing this from China? They're not like a humongous brand. They're not really open to distributors. And the way I'm going to learn about that is just looking into more of the products and seeing, are there multiple sellers selling these different items? And that will give you a good feel. And obviously the other thing you can do is you can start to Google someone like this. I don't know if it's going to be a good one, but all I will say is I see other people selling it. So that would be a potential. So right there, within just like, I guess, a minute, we saw a brand that maybe it doesn't work out, maybe it doesn't become something that we make a fortune with, but it becomes a potential. And we're learning more about this space. And as we scroll down, we can just start to see different kinds of products being sold as well. These are definitely private sellers, by the way, just the way they look. You always get a feel for that, what they kind of look like. But we're always looking who has got multiple sellers on there. And look, Trigger Point again. So good chance this is a company we could maybe reach out to, as we see it again with multiple sellers on the listing. Here's 321 strong, 7 different sellers. So yet again, we just click over there and we just can go through that process of kind of validating. So you can see this is sold by Wholesale Sports Direct. You can even look into these sellers. I'll show you that as well, right? Just while we're here, you can see that this third-party seller is selling it in a ship from Amazon. Now, I don't know anything about that company, but I can learn more by actually clicking over into the seller name, and I can learn a bit more about this company. That's super. What a weird bit of feedback, huh? I can look at this company a bit more and I can try and figure out like Womp Womp LLC is the company. This is their address. Okay. And then I see that they've got 191 rating. That's interesting. So again, I don't know if maybe 321 Strong is their brand. I'm not too sure about that. Check into this further 2 ways. We can use here a Launchpad and we can see, look, all these are the same company, Wholesale Sports Direct. That kind of gives me the feeling that maybe they are a private label seller. They're importing it. And also the other way we would check that if we didn't have here Launchpads, we come in and click this, and that's going to basically tell us, we would filter by new here because that's what we're going to be selling, new. We're not selling used. And you can see here that you've got, who's this right here? You can see Amazon themselves are selling that. Actually, no, that's Wholesale Sports Direct as well. So that's interesting. But again, you can leave off the filters and you can see these are like new. So that's interesting right there. That's an Amazon. So that, look, they're putting in like new listings as well, which is weird doing that because they want to like own more of the market or something. They look like they're probably a private label seller. That's just like one market, and you can see there's so many different ones. I think as we start to get into deeper research, again, going back to that best sellers area, you can apply this to different categories as well, not just obviously the sports and outdoors. And like at this time of year, I mean, obviously patio, lawn and garden items, they sell extremely well also. And we can follow a similar process whereby we can look at the different items, and look, DS Amazon Quick View is now loading. So that's what it looks like. This has got 4 sellers. So let's just click that open for a second and have a look. So I don't know anything about this brand, Zevo Flying Insect Trap. I've never seen this before. And obviously we can just check to see, well, what kind of revenue is this doing? So this market as well, because it is actually a different market. It's the patio, lawn and garden category. And then we're looking at a product in that category. So like, how well is that doing? So like, according to this, it's doing $1.2 million per month in revenue, which is unreal. Like, I mean, how crazy is that? It may not be perfectly correct, but it's going to be decently correct. But you can see Front Row CPG are selling this item. Do what we did earlier on, and we can start to see, oh, look, all these different sellers. So it's quite likely Zevo, this company right here, this brand right here, is like a company that we could potentially reach out to. And I've never heard of them before. So like, they're brand new to me and they look like a really legit company. I don't know much more about them other than they've got a great Amazon store. They look really legit. And again, you could just do some simple research. Like, so maybe we just go insect trap. So we started to get a feel for, all right, who's doing what? So like, there's a company right there, VG Supply Company. Zevo themselves are here. There's other ones too. This company, their wholesale lawn and garden distributor, they're selling this item right here. It's not the same one, but it looks like they may carry this brand. So that could be a potential lead then for you and I to reach out to, get more information. And they have a lot of like, you can as a new customer and stuff. So that's good. And we just found that within literally just almost seconds of looking. So here's Safer Home. So look what we're seeing even here. We're seeing fly trap items. So straight away, like this time of year, you now can start to know, all right, this time of year, mosquito products like fly traps, they're really popular. Obviously, like we're the top sellers in the category. So we're seeing the top of the top. But what we can also do is the same thing we did a minute ago. Now we just kind of invert it. So it's a flying insect trap. So if we go back to Amazon, the reason I go back to Amazon is I don't want to be in a subcategory. When I type flying insect trap, now we're going to see all the different listings that include this keyword. There's over 2,000, and we can follow the exact same methodology. We can see through DS Amazon Quick View, like how many sellers are on these various different listings. So we saw this one, I think a minute ago, Safer Brand Home. There's 29 other Safer Home products. So we already saw private label seller, just the way it's kind of structured. It's not really got a particular brand on it. So I'd probably avoid something like that. I want ones that have got a clear brand. And also when you start seeing these kind of funny looking brand names, it just means likely we're not going to be able to do business with them because they're importing it themselves and they're making sales with it themselves. But it doesn't mean it's impossible. So here's Black Flag Fly Stick. It's got 6 different sellers. We can just open that really quickly. We can keep looking down. Raid Essentials. All right, let's just take a quick look at that. Now that one's got pretty poor reviews. Amazon themselves are telling us that information, so obviously that's incredibly reliable. So let's look at the Raid one, because that one sounded really interesting. And I'm going to use the wholesale research tools here. Okay, so you can see the estimated sales are 5,405, so pretty accurate. $96,000, so nearly $100,000 in revenue from that item right there. As we scroll down, lots of other people trying to get into that buy box. So it's a very popular item, selling for $17.89. A lot of sellers are not competitive. They're more expensive. So again, we'd have to look into the price history behind this item. There's a brand right there you could look at. Here's another one, $130,000 a month in revenue. And we'll look down and see other sellers selling this. So that tells us, yeah, we could potentially go out and get, not many are very competitive. And again, some of these areas, like when you're selling some of these different products, you can get into issues with Amazon. Obviously, get an approval to sell the brand. Again, this is just a research video just to kind of give you ideas. So like, I hope you got a lot of value from today's video. I hope you go and apply this as well. You start finding some opportunities.